So, good morning, everyone. So, we are the group six, and we're going to report about the human impact on the environment. So, first is trade off. Humans have both positive and negative impacts on the environment. The main reason for the negative impact is the human population is increasing. Second is this the places increasing demands of natural sources and such as food, water, energy, and space. There is no easy solution, and every solution has a both negative and positive consequences. So trade-off. When a solution has both negative and positive consequences, consequences is something that naturally follows from the action, and most of the consequences can be both positive and negative. Finite resources. Finite resources is it will eventually run out. And interrelationship is has the earth has limited sources to support life. The increasing human populations is depleting those resources. For example, pollution decreases the amount of oxygen in the air. Renewable versus non-renewable. Renewable resources are resources that are being replaced faster than we can use it up. For example, the wood, the solar radiation. And second, non-renewable resources, something that being used faster than it can be replaced. For example, oil, coal, and natural gas. Some terminal harmful or human activities. Human activities can alter the balance of our ecosystem. This destruction of habitat is threatening stability of the planet ecosystem. The damage of the existence may be permanent. Ways humans adversely influence ecosystem. The first is the population. Too many people using limited resources. Second is overconsumption. Overconsumption in industrialized societies are using more resources per person from our planet than people from the poor nation. Third is advancing technologies. We introduce technology without knowing that it will be influence the environment. Number four, direct harvesting. A large loss of marine forests and its biodiversity. Number five is the pollution. Pollution has many adverse influence on air, water, and land. And the last is the atmospheric changes. Greenhouse gases due to the burning of fossils and depletion of our ozone layer. Seven, the endangered species. These are the species that are threatened to extinction due to the habitat destruction. Ayun.
Invasive species. Importing foreign organisms cause problem for native organisms. Once already living there, they are known as invasive species, aka exotic species. This is a species not native to an area. It was imported. They are bad because they can outcompete the native animals, causing them to go extinct. Sometimes they have better tools for that environment. Sometimes they lack predators and their population increased to high levels. Then they ate all the food and native species to go extinct. They tend to disrupt the natural food web that has been there for many years. Invasive species in Australia. Example of exotic species having negative effects include rabbits imported into Australia. These exotic species won the competition with many native herbivorous marsupials killing them off. Invasive species to New York. Snakehead fish, native to Asia and tropical Africa, imported as aquarium pets and as food source. Released into the wild, it breathes air. It can crawl out of water for miles to find the next water source. huge predator and outcompetes other native fish. Make lots of babies and breeds quickly. Not predators, so many survive. They are now illegal to the own. If you catch on one wild, you must report it in the DAC.
So there are three major environmental problems include first, global warming, second, acid precipitation, and the third one is ozone depletion. Acid precipitation. Most acid rain in New York State is caused by sulfur dioxide and the nitrogen dioxide pollution from the burning of fossil fuels such as coal and oil. They combine with water vapor in the atmosphere, fall back of the earth of New York acid as acid precipitation. And the third, there are some problems associated with acid precipitation. First is streams and lakes becoming more acidic, killing fish, frogs, and other life. And the second one is damaged forest plants and deteriorates buildings. What can be done? First, we can burn low sulfur coal. Second, we can use alternative energy sources such as solar panels or electricity and hot water heaters. And the third is we can heat our house with geothermal wells. And the last is geothermal well. We'll drill deep into the earth and release heat naturally created. Geothermal well. First is the geothermal well. Second is acid precipitation. Global warming. Global warming is the burning of fossil fuels and other pollution increases the amount of CO2 in the air. Second is fossil fuels include gasoline, coal, and oil. And the third one is this can potentially increase the earth temperatures. Last is carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide, also known as greenhouse gas. The greenhouse gas is the increase of level carbon dioxide and the other gases not allowing infrared of the solar heat radiation escape planet back in the outer space. And this is the causing of our planet slowly warm. First, consequences of the global warming. Global warming is a rising sea levels of coastal flooding, change rain patterns, returning droughts and crop failures, increase in insect disease in the regions. Example, New York State, warmer winter fails to kill the disease, preying that insects like bees nails. What can be done? First, decrease use of fuels, including electricity, use alternative forms of energy such as solar panels, and the last one is carpool to work, take public transit. Ozone depletion. Depletion is another form of oxygen. You breathe O2. Ozone is a O3. You do not breathe this. Ozone decreases the amount of solar radiation amount that reaches the earth from the sun, also known as UV. And
Hole in the ozone layer. What causes ozone depletion? Use of CFCs or chlorofluorocarbons lowers ozone by breaking up O3. CFCs are used in some aerosol cans, not as much anymore. They are also released from some refrigerators and air conditioning systems. Consequences are skin cancer, cataracts. Actions being taken by humans to reduce or repair damage to the environment include first is recycling waste, second is conserving available resources, third, using cleaner resources. Examples are solar over fossil fuels, fourth, protection of habitats and endangered species, fifth, use of biological controls instead of pesticides and herbicides. Six, farming native plants, example cocoa in the rainforest. Seven, planting trees to replace those cut down. Eight, rotating crops or planting cover crops to reduce soil loss. Nine, passing laws to control pollution and management, hunting and fishing. What part of the food chain do you think is most affected by toxins? producer, primary consumer, secondary consumer, tertiary consumer. Why? Biomagnification. Biomagnification, the increased concentration of a poison that moves up the food chain. It can start at the plant level. Many little fish eat the plants and get the toxins. Then a largemouth bass eats hundreds of little fish and gets more toxins. So this is the illustration. A human fisherman catches several bass with already higher level toxins. He eats them all and gets even more. He may accumulate so much toxin that it causes cancer or some other disorder. This happens in the Hudson River. Central Hudson has dumped tons of toxins, including PCPs, in the river. So this is the illustration. Much of the toxins settle in the bottom soil or sediment. Politicians try to correct this by dredging the river to scoop out the bottom sediment. It steers the toxins back into the water, causing more problems. So here the illustration. Human action often has negative consequences for the ecosystem and humans too. Here are some, and the ways that affect our ecosystem. For each of the following ecological problems, identify the specific cause, their negative effects on the environment, and a way that people are trying to fix the problem. First is we have the acid rain.
One, acid rain, how we have to fix it. Two, it's deforestation. Three, loss of diversity. Four, global warming. Six, industrialization. Eight, nuclear power. Seven, nuclear power. Eight, use of chemical fertilizer. And that's all for the group 6.